and listen and learn and get coached. But also, we just want to open up for questions so you guys have more opportunities and more freedom to just learn about everything, right? So you guys just are finishing up your habit challenge, which Krista and I set up, what was it, like 8 weeks ago? More than 8 weeks ago, right? And basically, you guys had to like pick two a little bit challenging habits that you wanted to build into your lifestyle. They were not primarily just nutrition. There were a lot of different things that you guys can pick from. But that was supposed to lead into more of a nutrition centric progression that we are planning on setting up for you guys, right? So we wanted to one touch base and see how you guys have done with that, if you have participated in the habit challenge. But then we will also wanted to open it up a little bit more for discussion, give you a little bit more nutrition guidance. And the biggest thing is, especially with the holidays coming up, I have a few things to say about that. And then also for anyone who participated, drop you email in the comments, and I'll send you a free guide with some information on some of the information that we're gonna be talking about today as well. So whenever you feel free, if you have a question and I'm talking about something, write it in the comments. I'll go through them so you don't forget it. And I'll go through it, I'll answer, and then if you want to drop your email in the comments as well, so I can share this information with you. So, sounds good on that? Awesome. All right. Well, first, did you guys participate in the habit challenge? Yes.
Kind of.
That's okay. What two habits did you guys pick? Anyone can go first.
Try to eat more protein
Love it.
and try to not have so much sugar. But that didn't work very well.
Okay. And Susie, which ones did you pick?
I actually did a sleep goal of
Okay,
being in bed by 11,
that's awesome.
and then I didn't pick another one.
That's okay. Sometimes one is just enough, right? That's really cool. Well, the reason why we wanted to pick it just to
Can I
and it,
interrupt you for one
yeah,
moment?
go
I
for
don't
it.
mean
Yep.
to. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try and get on my computer because I
Okay.
can hardly hear you on the phone. So I'm not
Okay.
leaving. I'm going to go and log in on my
Yeah.
desktop.
Did you check the volume on the phone?
Yeah, I've already done it over and over.
Okay.
I was checking
Okay.
everything on the phone. So,
Gotcha. All right.
all right, I'll
Hop
be
out and
back.
hop back
All
in.
right.
Yep. No
Sorry.
worries. That's okay. Susie, that's awesome. I like the sleep one. Why did you pick that one?
Because I was having a hard time getting to bed before midnight, and I know I feel a lot better when I
Mm,
get adequate sleep.
for sure.
And so it's
What?
just been, yeah,
Yeah, go for it. What does your schedule look like? Why 11, not earlier?
because I don't know if I could get to bed much earlier. Because I'm usually up late or can be up late, getting things done for the
Uh-huh.
next day or preparing or whatnot.
Oh, gotcha.
So, and 11 o'clock seemed like a reasonable time.
What time do you get up?
Usually about 6.
Okay. Um, so I will really challenge you and keep asking you, uh, how come your nightly routine doesn't allow you to get to bed earlier?
Because sometimes I'm not getting home from the evening until 9,
Gotcha.
and then I have to settle a
Wind
little bit
down.
before I
Yeah.
can sleep
Okay.
and
Yeah, that makes
things
sense.
done.
That makes sense for sure. Cool. Well, no, that's a really good one. I would say, if anything, sleep is one of the primary habits that we want to improve with everyone. So that's a really good one to pick, and it's a challenging one. But setting a very set schedule helps people a ton, and it helps with your quality of sleep too.
Mhm.
Um, I'm just gonna wait for Robin to pop back in on through her laptop, and then I'm gonna introduce a topic that I really want to talk about, as the holidays are coming up. So, um, If you were to pick another one, Susie, from the habit challenges, which one seemed the most challenging or scary?
The one that I probably need to do, that partly why I didn't choose it is I didn't think I could achieve it, is the no snacking.
No snacking?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
cutting out the snacking.
Okay, that's good to know. Robin, can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
All right, lovely. Well, I'm super happy that you guys at least participated in some capacity with anything that we do, nutrition wise, training wise. Like, we're not looking for perfection. All you need to do is be consistent enough, right? You have to be consistent enough and have enough good days. Hi, Thais. Welcome. Um, and this like really carries over into nutrition and how we approach everything with nutrition as well, right? Thais, welcome. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. And we just started talking about a few topics, just FYI. Anyway, guys, the holidays are coming up, right? We have Thanksgiving, we have Christmas, we have New Year's Eve. Those are big family holidays, and they're usually very centered around sharing food, preparing food. And with a lot of people, there's also a lot of food anxiety, right? And being nervous about, like, oh my gosh, this is not part of my nutrition, or I know I shouldn't have as much of this or as much of that. And especially you guys do CrossFit, right? Like every CrossFitter is pretty aware of their health, is pretty aware of nutrition and food because you're not doing CrossFit just to do CrossFit, right? Like that is some really hard exercise, and your lifestyle starts changing. So people start looking into improving your nutrition. So I know you guys care about all that stuff. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing CrossFit. So the biggest thing is we have those three big holidays coming up. And let's say we even dedicate 3 days to Thanksgiving, right? Like the day prior, the day of, the day after. It's always like a bigger holiday. You have Black Friday as well. So 3 days to that. Let's dedicate 2 days to Christmas. So you have Christmas Eve, you have Christmas, 2 days to New Year's. So that's 7 days total, right? 7 days total out of just under 58 days left of 2020 2025. Sheesh. So if we do the math, right? 7 days of fi- uh, of 58 days left, which was Monday. That's 88%, right? 88% of the rest of the time that you have in 2025. Now, 88% is a lot of time, right? So my approach to this and my tip for people is when they say, oh, well, the holidays are coming up and I don't think I can really do much about my nutrition because I know I'm not going to be sticking to plan on this day. I'm not going to be sticking to plan on this day. So I might as well just not start. Well, really? We have 88% left opportunities, right? That's almost, let's say, 54 days of opportunities, but we are going to give those up because of 7 days, right? So to me, that logic, when we do the math this way, it's like, okay, really? That doesn't really add up and it doesn't make sense. So I'm not going to take this journey, even though I can be 54 days ahead, right, of my estimated time of arrival, uh, because of 7 days that I'm not going to be moving forward. So even though some days are not going to be perfect, it's not a reason for you guys not to want to make a change in your lifestyle, in your nutrition, in your training, whatever that is, right? So that's something that I really wanted to cover. I'm super passionate about it right now because I keep hearing the same excuse of, Coach Peter, I really want to do nutrition coaching with you, but I'm going to wait until the holidays. And I'm like, why? Well, because I know I'm not going to be able to follow this plan. I'm like, the holidays are going to show up every year. And every year you're going to say, well, I can't do this because the holidays are around, right? That's not it. We want to, for you guys to develop a plan, a nutrition plan or a lifestyle that is sustainable with the rest of your life. Those holidays are not going to go away. Every year they're going to show up, right? Every year you're going to have different events that you go to. So we want your nutrition to work for your lifestyle and around what you do. So there's no right time to start. The right time to start is now. Just start walking towards your goal. Just start moving, right? Take action towards it. So that is my holiday tip for you guys and mindset change that I really want you to take on. Doesn't have to be with nutrition. Doesn't have to be with training. It might be a business that you're developing. Don't let 7 days of not taking action towards this be something that stops you from actually taking action, because you still have a lot of opportunities and you can make a lot of changes in a lot of those different aspects. Does it make sense?
Yep.
Any comments or questions about this?
It's a good way to think about it
Yeah,
compared to what you normally, well, I'll wait till after the first of the year type of thing.
exactly. First of the year. That's a very backwards way to think about it, right? It's always going to be there. It's always going to be part of this year. So, um, yeah, and I just really wanted to share this because I keep hearing it every week with someone new that I talk to, right? Cool. The next thing I really wanted to share with you guys, and if you guys want to drop your emails in the comment box, I'll share you this. Let me see if I can share my screen. I wanted to give you something for specifically for nutrition and a topic that I want to cover, where it's going to be a little more specific to improving nutrition. Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes.
All right, lovely. So this is something that I can send you guys over. And what I did was, have you guys heard or have conversations with people and they've mentioned that, or even like when you read nutrition labels, if you ever read nutrition labels, but there's arbitrary numbers and goals of like women should eat 1,500 calories, men should eat 2,000 calories. Have you guys heard that before?
Yes.
Yeah. So think of it this way. So the 1,500 calories, the 2,000 calories, those are just very basic representation that is usually of calories that it's usually put on labels, so they can actually show you what percentage of that macro, like of protein, this food is gonna have. It's not really a recommendation specifically for you to eat 1,500 calories or 2,000 calories, right? So what this packet is gonna give you is a little bit more understanding of what your personal needs are, that actually fit your life. Okay? Do you guys want me to make this a little bit bigger? Let's see if this works. Is this a little bit better?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so first thing that we want to cover is understanding, like, okay, we'll talk about calories a lot, right? Like calories are in food, and it all it is just basically a measure of energy, right? Like this is how we measure, okay, if I eat this food, this is how much energy I get from it. That's all it is. And then we also can measure this within our bodies of, okay, I have this much energy available. That's what a calorie is. Nothing more, nothing less, right? So when we go into understanding our personal needs for nutrition, okay, the 1,500 calorie stuff, the 2,000 calorie guides, it's not really true because every person is so different. So maybe you've heard of the term basal metabolic rate, or BMR. Okay, this is basically the energy the body needs to maintain essential functions, and essential meaning at rest. Do you have enough energy to support your breathing, to support your blood circulation, to support cell production, to support reproduction, and so on, right? So this number here, the BMR, basal metabolic rate, is quite different for a lot of people, but it takes up the most energy, right? This accounts for 70% of your daily caloric intake and need. And this is also, it varies by age, muscle mass, and also body size. Okay. So here's a very easy way to calculate this. These formulas have been figured out by scientists way smarter than myself. Um, and this is really close to doing basically a test in a lab. Okay. So Robin, thanks for sending your email. I'll send you this so you guys can go through this. And for women, you're basically going to go through these. You're going to plug in your numbers and you're going to get your basal metabolic rate. Okay. I do this drill with a lot of my nutrition clients, especially with the ones who are very afraid of consuming enough food, just to show them that your body needs more. Okay. Usually, people are pretty shocked once they calculate these numbers of actually how many calories it's recommended for them to consume. Okay, so women, you guys are here on the right side. You're gonna go through this calculation. You're gonna put your weight in, your height in. You're gonna multiply these, and then the age at the in the end. You're gonna multiply by 4.7, and then you're gonna combine all these numbers. So 65.551 plus this number minus this number, and then it's gonna give you your BMR. And this is where people are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I'm like supposed to eat. Like, this is just BMR. This is basal metabolic rate, right? This is me at rest. This is how much energy my body needs to sustain my functions. Okay. So this is such a huge eye opener for so many of my clients. And I love it. I love when they're like shocked, because that's, it shows how much most people have been under eating. Now, step two is now we add um, um, activity to this, right? So, like, think of it this way: the more activity you do, the more energy you are required to supply your body with. So, you have different um, categories here, right? Light exercise, sports, 1 to 3 days per week. So, like, I would say if you go to a CrossFit class like 2 to 3 times, you probably are going to fall into the light activity. Moderate activity. Now we're going into more like consistent going to CrossFit class. Very active. If we have people that are not only doing CrossFit class, but now we have maybe like a morning run and so on. So you're gonna pick your activity multiplier. So you're going to take your BMR and you're going to basically times that multiplier. And this is where you're going to get your total daily expenditure, right? So this is going to be how many calories, let's say, Robin, this is how many calories you need to consume to sustain your body at rest, to sustain all of your functions, plus to sustain your activity. Okay. Um, and this is what we call TDEE, total daily energy expenditure. Okay. I'm going to give you a very easy guide. This is, once you know this number, it's really easy to start manipulating. If you want to just maintain your weight, this is what you do. If you want to do weight loss, you're going to basically subtract about 250 to 500 calories. 500 might be too extreme for a lot of people. Or if you want to build muscle, you want to have more energy to build muscle, right? So we're going to increase a little bit of calories, and then you can write down your caloric number here. Here's what we're going to do. If you guys end up doing this drill, okay, you can email me your information. I can double check it for you. And if you have more questions, just let me know, because this is still a very general guide. Every person's situation is very different. Every person's lifestyle is very different, but these are very general numbers that you can go off of. It's still an amazing drill to do, exercise to do, to understand yourself better. For people that are starting nutrition coaching with me and really want to learn the basics and start from, the fundamentals, this is something I do with them because it makes them so much more aware of what is actually happening. I don't give them these numbers. They come up with these numbers by themselves. And this is a drill that I'm doing with you guys now and explaining it, right? And once we get into more of, okay, well, now what about carbohydrates and fats and proteins? How do I break up these calories to where I'm getting enough food from everything, right? Because we all know that we want to consume a well balanced diet of having enough carbohydrates to fuel your activities, having enough fats to sustain hormonal function, and um, um, and then proteins to build muscle and recover, right? So, for example, if we're calculating our calorie or carbohydrates, you're going to take 40% of your total calories, and then you're going to divide that by 4. Okay, that's going to give you exactly how many grams of carbs we should be consuming. But again, the 40 30 30, so this is called a 40 30 30 split. This is a very general guide. It's not for everyone. It's a good starting point, right? But this is where you can talk to Crystal, you can talk to me uh, to figure out what actually really works for you, right? Because these numbers, again, vary person to person, okay? So once we have these numbers, what's next? Okay, again, at the bottom, I said this is just an estimate, right? A lot of things can change depending on your lifestyle. Talk to your coach because this is just a general guide. However, it's a wonderful exercise to realize and be aware. And one more thing I wanted to cover. I know, especially if you guys are on social media or on the internet, there's such a big divide of like, should you track food? Should you measure food? Can we do weight loss or can we gain muscle without tracking food and tracking or weighing our food and stuff like that, or using apps to weigh? Yes and no. The real factor that drives either weight loss or muscle gain and weight gain is knowing how many calories you consume. Can you do this without tracking? Yes. It just takes a little bit more time and a little bit more awareness. Okay? It still requires you to pay attention to what you're eating. Okay? But if we can't be consistent and knowing what you're eating, it will be hard for you to pinpoint how much is enough, right? Tracking and measuring really speeds up this process because you get very specific numbers and very specific um, and it would allow you to make very specific changes quicker because you have the information, right? Now, do I do tracking and measuring with everyone? No, absolutely not. It really, depends on the person's history. Some people have done it for a long time, have developed very restrictive dieting and restrictive mindset. Some people I don't do measuring and tracking because it's not what they need, right? Some people really thrive in knowing and using that data. And for them, yes, absolutely. We can use that data and you can track and be competitive in whatever your goals are, right? So both are true, both can work. It just depends on what you want to decide is best for you and what you feel like you're ready to do, right? Because if I ask you to track and mentally you don't have the capacity to do that, guess what? That process is not going to go well. Okay. It's going to create a lot of friction. You're going to be very frustrated. Okay. So, this is where this guide, I'll share all of this with you guys. You're welcome to do it, and I'll be answering those questions once you have your information. And then at the bottom, if you guys also are interested in more nutrition coaching, I have my information and different ways I can support you and guide you, and for you guys to understand what could work best for you if you're interested in working more with me. But anyway, I'm gonna keep the screen on if you guys have any questions. So now I just want to open it up and shoot.
So it's basically you can and can or may not have to count macros. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And I know this answer sucks, but it depends
Yeah.
with a lot of things.
Okay. I'm
The
sure.
more The thing is, the more as coaches, the more we understand the person, the more we understand the situation, the more we understand the context, the
Mhm.
better we can provide guidance,
Okay.
right? And every person, every situation, they're very different. So I would never, I've been kind of like fighting this internally because people just want to hear it. It's like, do this. The thing is, though, it's not right for everyone. So I don't want to say, hey, Robin, I will take you from here to here, and you're going to do this and this. It's not a cookie cutter plan. It doesn't work. So Susie might approach this completely different than you, and both can have success in different ways.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Any questions on that? So I actually did have some questions that people submitted. So I'm gonna read them out, and I'll give you some information. If you think of something, just drop it in the comments. So I had a person who basically she does double sessions. She would do a run in the morning and then CrossFit at noon, and she didn't feel like she had enough energy to do that, right? So one big thing that I would say is if people notice that they don't have energy to do both, or they really, once they get to CrossFit, it's like, man, I don't have like the same effort. That's a big kind of like alert sign saying that I'm not eating enough, right? And I'm not eating probably enough carbohydrates to fuel training, right? So especially with double training days, that means that your requirements for food are going to increase regardless, right? My biggest tip for you guys, if you are feeling like you don't have enough energy going into CrossFit or, class or an extra activity that you're going to do, is having some simple carbohydrate snacks that you can consume 30-ish to 45 minutes prior. And that could be as simple as two chocolate rice cakes with a banana, like super easily, very palatable. If you don't like that, that's okay. There's all kinds of different options, but something that is very easy to consume. It doesn't have to be chicken, rice, and broccoli, right? Like that would not sit well if I'm going to train in 45 minutes. I want it to be a little bit simpler, that it's going to give you the energy that you need for class. Does it make sense? And then another question I had was about protein bars. It's like, are they good? Should we have them? I was like, she said, I've been watching your videos, and I know you said that most protein bars are glorified candy bars. And I was like, yes, that's true. Unfortunately, I mean, heck, you have like Snickers protein bar, and you have Reese's peanut butter cups that are now protein too. Um, so only because it has a label that says protein doesn't mean that it actually supplies you with what protein is, right? Here's a very simple way. If your primary goal is to get protein from a protein bar, look at the label. You can look at the protein section. You're gonna, let's say it's 20 grams of protein, times that by 10, that's going to give you the number 200. Okay, then you're gonna look at the calories. Let's say the bar or the whole bar has 240 calories. So if we take that number 200, it's less than 240. That means that for the amount of calories that that bar has, the amount of protein is insufficient, meaning that I'm mostly getting other things from this protein bar and not enough protein. Okay, let's say I'm going to take my favorite protein bar, which is a Built bar. Built bars usually have 17 grams of protein, and they're like 140 calories. So 170 is more than 140, which that bar has enough protein to actually call itself a protein bar. Very simple guide. If your primary goal is to look for a protein bar, you want to get protein from it, right? So most bars, if you start looking into this and you start looking at the label, you'll find out that most bars just provide, they're basically just a candy bar. with a little bit more protein, right? Um, the thing is, if you're going to get the same caloric intake from this protein bar and let's say a Reese's peanut butter or protein Reese's peanut butter cup and a regular peanut butter cup, right? If they have the same amount of calories, but this one has like, 6 grams more protein. Guess what, guys? Like, that's not really getting extra protein. You might as well just have the regular peanut butter cup, and you can, it's gonna be the same thing because you're getting the same value of calories, right? But if for that amount of calories that I'm getting, if I'm getting way more protein, then yeah, you can count it as like, actually, I got some protein in from this protein bar, so it's really good. Cool. So those are the two questions that I have from people. Have you guys come up with anything? Are you not sure about anything? What else can I answer?
How do you feel, Susie? Just got to ask.
I'm sore, and I have to
I'm-
be very careful with how I move.
Yeah, I
But
bet.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
actually, my dad also had a hernia surgery like 2 weeks ago, and he said that he can only lay like upright for the first like few days when he was sleeping, and like turning over and like bracing his midline was so hard.
Yeah. Any contraction of the abs hurts pretty darn good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool.
Okay, I thank you very much. I have my grandson I'm watching tonight, and so I have
Perfect.
to make sure he gets ready for bed.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, Robin, thank you for your email as well. I'll send you this information so you
Please,
have it.
please.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. Susie, if you have any questions, just shoot Crystal or myself a message,
Okay.
and I will be happy to help you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure, guys.
Good night, all.
Appreciate it.
All right. Good
See
night.
ya.
Bye.
All right.
Bye bye. Okay, Crystal. Wonderful job. Bye.